Now, as I'm doing this video right now, the New York stock pre-market is already on the green, and together with most of the US stocks, and this comes after China and the US agreed that they are going to extend, or they might make an announcement today of extending the tariffs or pausing the tariffs between the two countries for the next 90 days, which is something that is great, man. I mean, one thing that did hurt the stocks all over the world is because of the tariffs that President Trump has been imposing to various countries. I mean, yesterday we saw a video of President Trump also sitting with the EU, right, leader, and they agreed that EU will purchase 750 billion worth of energy from the US. These are some of the trade deals that Trump is making, which all the markets all over the world might recover. I mean, there's countries like my very own South Africa, which we received a letter. Unfortunately, we are still trying to negotiate. We got 30% of tariffs, and it was a take it or leave it sort of like letter. But there are some, of course, countries or regions that the United States of America is negotiating with them, and they are going to get an additional pause in terms of the tariffs. And this, my dear friends, is one thing that is making, of course, EV stocks like NIO to be already green pre-market. And who knows what will happen today if this, of course, gets to be officially announced today, because in as much as we read that it is going to be announced by both parties today, it has not been officially announced, but already the market, it is reacting positively to what statement that we saw yesterday. It might be lights out also for us today on NIO. NIO, it is a company that obviously in the last 2 weeks, in terms of the share price, it has been doing so well, which is why we have been also talking a lot about the share price movement, because not many retail investors were expecting this kind of movement from NIO, especially knowing that one thing that was making the short sellers, the naysayers, to short this stock, it was because of uncertainties on profitability and the net losses that NIO has been incurring over the previous quarters. But since the pre-launch of the Onvo L90, the market realizes the massive potential that lies within NIO. I mean, I've got some pretty good, interesting news lined up for you with regards to the latest developments, and obviously for you to catch up or for you to not miss those news. Please, I would request you to like this video, subscribe if you have not done that. I appreciate some of you guys that have been subscribing, because I think previously we had a lot of sort of like people that are watching this kind of content that I do about NIO who are not subscribing. They're just here for watching, and I see some of you guys have started subscribing, and I like this. Let's continue pushing as we are watching. Remember, this is a channel that I only talk about NIO or any news that have an impact onto NIO, which these ones of US and China agreeing to pause tariffs, it is very important to also NIO, because obviously it changes the sentiment around the tensions between China and the US, which is very important to even in NIO who are not even yet selling their cars in the US. So I am happy, I am excited, and when I saw this, when I read this to say that today we are going to get, or we might get, an announcement from the US and China pausing tariffs for the next 90 days, it's just massive news, which will lead into more stock surging onto NIO. My dear friends, blue sky is coming, long term will win. And because to NIO, it's not just boost. We are not just going to get a share price being boosted by this, but of course the fundamentals, we know they are growing stronger and stronger. I mean, this week on Thursday there is an official launch of the Onvo L90. My dear friends, the price that NIO announced, or the price that Onvo announced during the pre-launch, it will not be the same as the price that, of course, Onvo or NIO is going to announce on the official launch date this coming Thursday. I can tell you that for sure, because anyways, we have covered already the hints. We have covered, of course, the leaks that we saw in terms of how much the starting price of the Onvo L90 might be at. And now, knowing that there is massive demand in terms of test drive, there's massive demand in terms of people just going to the Onvo stores and having a look onto those cars, rest assured we are going to see the NIO's deliveries improving in August like crazy. I mean, like I said, I've got some news that I want to talk to you about, but I first thought that I should cover this one first, because it is very important that you know that the tensions that of course was between the US and China, it's getting better, right? And the more these countries of course are at peace, the better for everyone, the better for the markets, because there are some investors that want to invest onto companies like NEO, buying shares onto NEO, but when they think of the tensions between US and China, they don't, or they are not yet comfortable to throw in a chunk of their money into Chinese equities like NEO. And seeing this, it gives them hope to say that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, there might still be tensions, but it might not be as bad, because in as much as China needs the US also needs China, right? I mean, rare earth minerals and all that. You know the story, that in as much as, of course, US is the one that started imposing these various tariffs onto countries all over the world, they also need the support from other countries to grow. Because what was going to happen if this was not going, if the deal between EU and the US was not going to be struck, if these posts were not there, the shelves in the shops of the companies in the US were going to go empty, because of the demand that would be triggered by, of course, countries outside not shipping those products, and only US companies being the one supplying the products to the consumers, to the customers in the US, right? So it is always good, it is good to see this kind of news. And this is why, if you check most of the stocks pre-market, they are already on the green in anticipation of the big announcement that is expected to come today. NEO, it's already up almost 0.8%, and I can tell you, if the news drop, if those news drop, we are going again over $5 per stock, which is going to be so crazy, so amazing to see our very own NEO continuing surging in terms of the share price. So my dear friends, me, I'm happy, me, I'm excited. I don't want to make this video too long. I just thought I'd come and give you these latest developments, telling you of what we are seeing today and what we can expect in terms of the market today, after we saw the two parties saying that they might announce a 90-day pause, which will be so great, so amazing and exciting, because it will recover, it will make the stock market to continue surging. I mean, S&P 500 last week hit an all-time high. There are quite a number of stocks that hit an all-time high last week, and it appears that what Trump and China announced today might even fuel those stocks to surge or continue surging even higher, which is absolutely great. So like this video, man, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, it takes me some time to make videos like this, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up, so that at least this video can be spread out to as many people as possible all over the world, because it is important that the investors, those especially that were hesitant due to the tensions between the US and China, to say that things are becoming better, maybe they can come and start to feel free to maybe invest onto EV stocks like NEO, right? And the more we have the inflows of people buying the shares, guess what? Is the more the share price of NEO will continue rising, which is what we want to see. End of the year, I don't know where NEO will be, but hopefully we are at a much higher share price than the current share price we are seeing right now of almost around $5. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next one, my dear friends. That is all from me, and God bless you all.